Good afternoon, everyone. Again, this is Dan with Senior E-Bike Nation. We're going to be doing a last segment of the drive here. I'm going to give me a quick sip of coffee. As you guys know, I'm an avid coffee drinker. Guess I got that when I was in the Navy. But yeah, this will be the last portion of the of today's ride. We did see a deer yesterday, right about through here, if I remember correctly. Seen him on the trail, and I put a title up when I seen him, so I hope you guys got to see that deer. We're about 20 minutes into our ride. Yeah, it takes less than a half hour to get up to the halfway point. So we'll get up there pretty quick. It's probably only about 70, 71 degrees out here with a nice breeze, and I'll tell you, it's just gorgeous. I call this perfect bike riding. Believe it or not, I've come 5.67 miles, and we still got 99% of the battery. That'll drop a little bit, but I'm impressed with that. And again, I'm in pedal assist 1. But again, I'm not putting a lot of pressure on the pedals, so I need to go in there and change some settings on these pedal assist levels, because they're not right. I might have to go to Cyrusher's homepage, their website, and see how to do that, or pull up a YouTube video on how to do it. Right up here, we're just about 9 miles into our ride when I hit the stop sign. If I go the full distance, probably closer to 6.5. And we got about another mile and a quarter to go to get to our halfway point at the bridge. Again, we get up here, I'm gonna probably take my camera off and we'll talk about the commute. I'm sorry, the Ovia. Things I really like about it, and a couple things that, you know, they're not negative, but they're just bothers me a little bit. Would it stop me from buying this bike? No. And really one of the biggest problems you have choosing an e-bike is there is so much out there, and there's just so much information out there, you don't know what to buy. You almost need to test ride a bike for about a week before you really know if you want it. And that's why I highly encourage people to go to a local bike shop if you can, if their bikes aren't really too expensive, and buy an e-bike from them. Because when these bikes come out of China, you just don't know what you're going to get. You know, they make it look all fancy and nice, and how fast it'll go, how far it'll go, and that's all well and good, but that's usually not how it works out once you get the bike. Typically, when they tell you you're going to get 30 miles out of a charge, you can probably take 5 miles off of that. Especially with somebody my size. I'm 225. Caleb's about 270. So yeah, you're not going to get the distance out of these bikes as they claim you're going to. There's too many factors involved with wind, weather, cold, how much you're on the throttle, what pedal assist you're riding in. There's so many different factors that weigh into what you're going to get on a distance out of a bike. But for the most part, I've rode these so long now, and this one's again got almost 233 miles on it, that I pretty much know how far I'm going to get. And I know I can do 30 miles pretty easily. But again, this has got a 17 amp hour battery, so it's a bigger battery. About a half a mile to go up here. Yeah, I'd say it's probably a couple e-bikes coming this way. Just guessing, but I think it is. Yeah, I believe they were e-bikes. I can see the battery on the second bike. I'm telling you, I'm seeing a whole lot more of these on the trail than I've ever seen before. At least 40% more this year on the trail than I seen last year. And if you look at the expense of the bike versus what you're going to cost you to drive a car, I mean, you got no gas, you got nothing, no upkeep on the bike like you do a car. You don't have to have insurance, you don't have to have license. And these make great commuter bikes if you just want to ride to work and back. You know, you can always take your battery off when you get to work and charge it while you're working all day. Then it'll be fully charged when you go home. We don't have a whole lot of people out today. A few here and there. Kind of average for a weekday. This is Friday afternoon, so might be a few more people get off work. There might be a few more people out here. I've probably got in 30 to 35 videos on this one already, which I promised the company. So when I send them an intro letter, that's what I tell them. And I plan on keeping my word on doing as many reviews as I can on that bike. because there's so many things that happen on the first 30 to 200 miles on your bike that things may come out of adjustments, they break, so you really can't just do a maiden ride and a range test and say, yeah, this bike does this and it does that, because really that's usually not the case. There's things that just happen on a bike. So anyway, we're at our halfway point. I'm gonna hop off the bike here. So I say step through the bike. And yeah, this thing's a beauty. This is the Cyrusher Ovia. I think it actually has a 52 volt, 17 amp hour battery in it. Like I said, I got so many bikes now I get confused. That's a sign of old age, in case you want to know. But yeah, it's a beautiful bike. I mean, I ordered it in red, and they was kind enough to send it to me in red. And Cyrusher, I want to thank you for the bike for me to review. It's got so many neat features. So yeah, let's get right at it. Let's talk about the hub motor. It's a 750 watt Bafang rear hub motor. It's got a turning derailleur, and it also has a Shimano shifter, 7 gears. So I normally stay in 1 gear. I typically don't change a whole lot unless I'm going up a hill or I'm trying to conserve battery or a little bit. So yeah, and it's also got a battery that sits in this down tube right here. And you just take the key, turn it, and this battery falls forward. Like with my Komoda, the battery comes out this way, but this one folds down and then the battery comes out. This is your charging port on the bike, and that's kind of what I'll usually do, is just bring it on the patio and charge it. Normally I do it in the morning. I don't charge them when I'm in bed at night because it's not safe. And it's also got dual suspension, and there's lockouts on these front suspension, so where you can, if you want to lock them out on a hill ride or dirt off-road riding, you can do that. And it's also got an air shock in the back. This is different. My Komoda does not have an air shock, and this has even got an adjustment here for the air shock, but it's an extremely comfortable ride. So they did a really good job on that. And I like how they designed this down into the rear of the bike, where it ties into the frame here. I really like how they did that. So yeah, it's a gorgeous bike. Couple other features that it has that also comes with this bike rack. I actually had an extra bag at home that I put on it, but it does come with the bike rack. And this is a really cool feature on this headlight here. Let me see if I can get this to come on here. Yeah, it may have shut itself off already, but here it is. But this has got the headlight here, and I'll tell you, it's really bright because this actually comes out like a square pattern on the trail at nighttime. So it's very nice headlight they put on this thing. Turn that back off. And they also have, the only thing I don't like about this has got a rear reflector. It does not have a wired brake or rear light like my Komoda does. It's got a wired going into the light, where this one's got a reflector. And I just don't like that at all. And it's even got a button that you can push on the top, and supposedly the light comes on, but I could not get that to work from the day they sent me the bike, so that did not work at all. But other than that, it's got a beautiful display here, where you can see it'll go up to 5 on this one, and it'll come up back down again, of course. And then as you can see, that's still showing 99% of my battery, and I've already come 7.73 miles. I'm not too sure what to think about that. I'll figure that out when I get home. And your controller and everything for your bike sits down in below this area here. And besides that, it's got Logan hydraulic brakes. The other ones they had on their other bikes were Tektros, where this is Logan. They're out of Cleveland, Ohio, I believe. But yeah, it stops you pretty quick. And now a couple aftermarket things I did put on this bike I want to mention. Of course, the bike bag. This is the original seat. I love the Cyrusher seat. Even on my commute, it's very comfortable. And a couple things I added was this cup holder, and then my phone holder here, and this little bag I had laying around the house. It's good for carrying keys or whatever. And then this light right here, this has got 1600 lumens on this light. I mean, it is impressive. As you can see how bright this is, and this is daytime. That is called a Acruna. And I'll see if I can't link that down in the description box. That is an extremely bright light. And then I always put these on my bikes, these little bars you can mount on the front. Because there's a place right here that I can put my GoPro camera on here. And some other accessories in the cockpit area. So yeah, anyway, let me get this camera off here. But that's a little bit about the Cyrusher Ovia. And I'll tell you, as I said again, it's a beauty. I have had so much fun riding this bike. Again, I've probably got 200 and almost 40 miles on it now. And the bike just handles really well on, we've been on off-road on this bike, we've been on dirt trails, we've been on road riding, been downtown, we've been on the bike trail. So we have put this bike through its paces pretty well, and it's handled extremely well. So anyway, if you guys got any questions, put them down in the comment section. I usually answer anything that comes through. And then again, we got some new bikes coming in next week. We'll be reviewing one for sure, maybe two if I get it in time. And that'll be from unboxing to assembly, and doing the normal road test that we do on range test, pedal assist level test, throttle only test. We'll be doing all that stuff on the bikes that we have coming in. And yeah, I can't tell you how much fun that I've had riding these bikes since I've got out. Since I've retired. I'm 71, I'll be 72 in November, and I feel like I'm 45 right now. I'm just feeling very comfortable with these e-bikes, and for you seniors out there, it is just a lot of fun. But anyway, share, like, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification for any future videos coming up. Caleb and I will also be sitting down and talking about question and answer on a live stream about anything you want to talk about e-bikes. We're going to do that, and we'll give you about a week's notice when we do that. So anyway, again, share, like, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys on the next video.